Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Wednesday, May 29, 2024. Stand up for your country. As you know, the jury has the deliberations underway in the Trump hush money case. So bizarre. It really is, and so destructive to the entire country. I could make fun of it, I could mock it, but it's more important than people think. Now, if you want speculation on the jury, you got it on cable news and talk radio. I'm not going to do that. I made a prediction a few weeks ago. I thought it might be a hung jury. I could be desperately wrong on that. I don't know these people. But to me, if I'm on the jury, I don't convict because I don't know what the crime is. And the judge spelled it out, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So Judge Merchan, who is never going to be the same because all the MAGA people and Trump supporters hate him, and I don't think he's run the courtroom in a fair way. But again, I haven't been there every day. Based upon his family history, he's obviously an ardent Democrat, and on and on. You all know about it. But a couple of things struck me when he instructed the jury. So you got 12 people sitting there, and there's a judge. And the judge is explaining what their role is, what they have to do to deliver a fair verdict. Okay. So this was the key. And I talked about it on a Hannity radio show today. Most people miss this. So the jurors, in order to convict Donald Trump of a felony, with Stormy Daniels payments, with all of that, he would have had to have done that in conjunction with another higher crime, like election fraud or something like that. So we've been over this. I still don't know what the higher crime is. The judge is laying out a couple of scenarios. Well, it might be a tax thing. It could be a campaign violation. Yeah, all right, but none of that's been proven to me. All right, I'm paying attention. But then Merchan tells these 12 Americans, okay, yeah, he's got to be another crime involved. The higher crime is paying off blackmailers, okay? But you don't all have to agree on what that crime is. What? So the jury can just kind of say, well, I think it's tax evasion, or I think it's falsification of business records, or I think it's a violation of federal voting law. And then all the other jury goes, no, I don't think that. So they all don't have to agree, according to Judge Merchan. When I saw that, I went, appeal overturned. No higher court is going to sanction that kind of an instruction to the jury. Nobody is ever going to do that. Once it gets out of New York State, which is not, and we've gone over the New York State thing. There's no justice here in New York State where I am, right? None. But once it gets into federal level, again, look at this. This is garbage. This whole thing is a fiasco, which it is. Now, Hannity also asked me about, is Trump going to be, if he's convicted, are they going to put him in jail? Are they going to put him in a bracelet, and confine him to home? No. He's going to be released on his own recognizance pending appeal because he's not a threat to anybody except Joe Biden, who would love to have Trump confined to his home, as Biden was in the 2020 election. But Biden was confined to his basement. He didn't come out. So that's when he went Trump. Now, again, I'm making a jest of this whole thing. But look, when the vote comes in, the vote of the jury comes in. I'll be on the air. Okay, we'll go up on BillO'Reilly.com and I'll give you whatever opinion I have of what went down. But to speculate now, it's a waste of your time and my time. But I can tell you this. This whole trial has caused grave damage to the United States of America. Because now people hate each other. I remember when I was covering the Obama-McCain, Obama-Romney races. Yeah, I mean, the sides were polarized, and the other side they didn't like them, and they were annoying, but there wasn't hatred. Now there's hatred. All right? So Americans are hating one another, and they're going to hate one another more particularly if Trump is convicted. Now, if he's acquitted, the Robert De Niro's of the world, okay, but that doesn't matter. And the final thing I want to tell you in the talking points memo today is another Hannity question, and I posted the entire Hannity interview on BillO'Reilly.com. Many MAGA people and Republicans are worried that this will carry into the election if he's convicted. It won't. And the reason it won't is because most Americans are out this summer going on vacation, having fun, going to restaurants, going to shows, whatever it may be, going to the baseball parks. And they're going to find they're paying 50% more for everything. In New York City, now, a good hotel costs you $1,000 a night. Okay? It's not the rate of inflation. It's what the traffic will bear. So when people get out this summer, out and about, and they start vacationing, they're going to get whacked. Pain will be inflicted. And it all goes back to Biden, igniting that fuel inflation, regulations, overprinting money, with all of this kind of trillions of dollars going into projects that is all heightened. And housing prices, highest ever. You want to buy a house? Under Joe Biden, you pay more than ever before. All of that is going to override any Trump trial. And by November, the Trump trial, no matter what happens, yeah, the Democrats go, oh, convicted felon, whatever they do. But believe me, the combination of ABC, NBC, CBS News with MSNBC and CNN, the combination of all people watching that is below 20 million people. All right? So about 150 million people voted last time around. So the media, it doesn't have nearly the power it used to have. And that's a memo. Okay, so now let's get to the sound bites about the Trump trial. Well, you got to start with Donald Trump when he left the courthouse. Go.
And remember, and let me just leave you with this. This is all because of Joe Biden and I don't even think it's him. I don't think he's smart enough to think about it. But it's the people that surround him in the office. They're smart. They're fascists, they're communists, but they're smart. And they're ruining our country. But we're going to win this election. November 5th is going to be the most important day in the history of our country. We're going to take back our country from these fascists and these thugs that are destroying us with inflation and with everything they do, how stupid they are, allowing 15, 16, 17 million people into our country, totally unvetted, totally unchecked. We're going to bring back our nation November 5th. Remember, most important day in the history of our country.
All right, it might be the most important day because 4 more years of Joe Biden. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. So Donald Trump framed what his campaign is going to do. This whole trial was ordered by the Biden White House. That's going to be the rebuttal to Trump is a convicted felon, okay, if he gets convicted. So you saw the frame there. Now, interestingly enough, the former president used a lot of the language that I use because I know he looks at the message of the day on BillO'Reilly.com and the columns and things like that. But all Donald Trump has to do now, in my opinion, after he gets by this thing that never should have happened, is don't make any big mistakes. Don't make any big mistakes. All right? Rein it in a little bit. Run on. Yeah, the Biden administration is going to destroy the country because you can back that up. Don't make any mistakes. He'll be attacked. Now, the media, of course, is rooting for conviction. I mean, 90% of the corporate media hates Trump. There are a variety of reasons. We have gone over them. So let's run 3 sound bites in. First is CNN. Go.
The only issue I think that the jury's going to have to really struggle with is, did he do it to help himself in the election, or did he do it to protect his family? And right now, we really don't have any evidence that says that the main thrust of this was to protect his family.
Then you don't have any evidence that he did to violate election law. There's no linkage to election law. There's no testimony that Trump studied election law, that election law had anything to do with conversations. He just wanted to get rid of it, as anybody would. Anybody would. Now, that judge, Jeff Swartz, he was selected by CNN to say that. They knew what he was going to say because you get a point of view, POV, of all the guests. They knew. And they know who this guy Swartz is. He wants Trump to be convicted, so they book him as a guest. Same thing takes place on MSNBC. Go.
The government has essentially woven a tapestry of evidence and witnesses that prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Trump is guilty as charged.
Now, he has to say that, Rosenberg, or he's not going to get on Morning Joe. And he wants to be on Morning Joe, okay? Because he works for NBC News and high-profile shows, so he has to say it. Now, on the other side, Fox News, generally speaking, wants an acquittal. Go.
Once that outcome is behind us, people will see in the not guilty case, what are they going to see? This was a sham trial.
Okay, so I would say 75% of the guests and pundits combined, Fox has essentially 4 liberal pundits working for them. Okay, they should have more, but they don't. They have 4. And those liberal pundits are very careful about what they say. Very careful. Anyway, Fox wants an acquittal here. So you got 2 that want a conviction, 1 that wants an acquittal. News Nation, I was on there last night with Leland Verdit. He's fair. He calls his program The Fairest on TV. I'd say Leland's pretty fair. But the other 3 primetime hosts on News Nation, they lean left, but they're not bomb throw left. And that's why they hired me. Because they need to have balance. They know that, News Nation. They want that. Okay, so that's where we are on this. Now, most people didn't pick this up, but I did. Because that's my job, to bring you information you're not going to get anywhere else. So Robert De Niro got all the headlines about, and we went over that. I have a message of the day on BillO'Reilly.com. If you missed it last night, you can read the message. Okay, and I basically am making fun of Robert De Niro. He's 80 years old. You know, he's got nothing to lose. The Biden people trotted him out. Terrible campaign decision on their part. Nobody's changing their mind about Robert De Niro one way or the other. But in Boston, a guy named Ken Burns said some pretty outrageous stuff. Now, who's Ken Burns? You know the name, right? Throw his picture on up, and on radio I'll describe him. So he's 70 years old, and he's a documentarian, and he's a good one. 2 Grammys, 15 Emmys, Civil War, baseball, jazz, national parks. The guy is accomplished. I know him. And he's a mid-level historian. And when he does things like the Civil War and baseball, it's basically the facts. But Ken is a devoted liberal. So he gives a graduation speech at Brandeis University in Boston, which is a left-wing school. And here's what Ken Burns says. Go.
The presumptive Republican nominee is the opioid of all opioids, an easy cure for what some believe is the solution to our myriad pains and problems, when in fact, with him, you end up re-enslaved with an even bigger problem, a worse affliction and addiction, a bigger delusion, James Baldwin would say, the author and finisher of our national existence, our national suicide, as Mr. Lincoln prophesies. Do not be seduced by easy equalization. There is nothing equal about this equation. We are at an existential crossroads in our political and civic lives. This is a choice that could not be clearer.
All right, I'd like to debate Ken Burns. We're going to call him and try to get him on next week. He won't come on because he knows this is gibberish. It's just gibberish. All right, he goes that we're going to end up re-enslaved. all right, now, Trump was president for 4 years. Are you a slave? I'm not. Now, at the end with the Capitol, and that was terrible. And that hurt Trump every way. All right? Terrible. And the harping on the 2020 election was not smart. Okay, you should have done what Al Gore did. Just say, okay. And Nixon did it too with Kennedy in 1960. So, but as a chief executive, Trump didn't enslave anybody. The nation was prosperous. There were no wars overseas that we had to deal with. Afghanistan was fairly pacified. War on terror went our way. I wrote a book, Killing the Killers. Trump wiped them out. Obama helped. Okay, but what, enslaved? What are you talking about? So that would be my opening question to Ken Burns. He couldn't answer it. And he's basically telling these students at Brandeis, because this is what they want to hear. It's kind of like MSNBC. Oh, there's no equivalency here. Oh, no, you got to vote against Trump because he's going to just, wipe out democracy. And based on what? What are you basing that on, Mr. Burns? So to me, the much bigger danger is the inefficiency and corruption in the Biden White House. The man does not work. This week, he did absolutely nothing. His policies overseas are so muddled, nobody understands them. Inflation, as I just pointed out, is crippling the working class in America. The border I've never seen a policy as disastrous as that. And Ken Burns says, oh, no, this is all fine because Trump is going to enslave us. What a bunch of garbage. I mean, if I'm a professor and Ken Burns hands in that paper, D-. And the only reason you can get an F is because you showed up. All right, I'll let you know how Ken Burns declines our invitation. If he doesn't, I'm giving him 20 minutes. Me and him. Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. All right, let's go with the mail. We got Vicky. Why would Fox and the networks keep showing that De Niro idiot speech over and over? Because what else are they going to do? It's provocative. People get angry. Of course they're going to do it. DeWitt. Why is De Niro at the Trump trial closing arguments? Is he filming a new movie? No. The Biden administration asked him to go. And he went because he hates Trump. Mick. The judge in the trial seems biased and conflicted, and his strict instructions may lead the jury to have no choice but to convict. Jury always has a choice. Judge can't force him to do anything. But we'll know after the trial when the jury's members do interviews. We'll know. Jim Thompson, Loveland, Colorado. Perhaps Obama was involved with the De Niro courthouse stunt. Come on. He wasn't, Jim. That's all I can say. Ralph, concierge member. Ralph gets a direct line to me. If you've ever sat on a jury, you know that there is no jury of your peers. They all have different financial backgrounds, but they're all American citizens. That's the jury of your peers. You can't have a foreigner on there. Linda Calcaro, Marietta, California. Can the Trump attorneys bypass the lower appellate court and appeal to the Supreme Court? No. Got to stair step through the federal system, which will happen if he's convicted. Garrett Klein, Concord, North Carolina. Bill, been reading your book since I was 16, anxiously awaiting confronting the presidents. But I have to disagree that James Buchanan was the worst president. Civil war was already destined to happen. Nothing could have been done to stop it. It's not true. Not true at all. And we'll lay it out for you in confronting the presidents. Okay, let's go to Father's Day, June 16th. So we got the best stuff, and we are keeping the prices down. And you can ask my producer, because I'm on the phone with her. I'm going to keep it down. $35, not woke mug, and the United States of Trump. Come on. Your dad, if he has an interest in Trump, it's not a puff book. And the mug you'll like, okay? Then we have a not woke mug and a white Team Normal hat. Okay, that's $39.95, below $50. And then we have this fabulous thing. This is the patent specially made, and we're going to run out of them, by Easton Press, military-bound history. This is Killing Patton. What a tremendous presentation this is for your father or grandfather. Okay, that's expensive, but believe me, very impressive. And finally, confronting the presidents. If you become a premium or concierge member or re-up, you get it free. Out September 10th, roaring on us. You are going to love the book. Word of the day, no inequity, INIQUITY, no inequity when writing to me. Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. Back with a final thought, my journey to Nordstrom's. Being in debt is like sinking in quicksand. You become trapped. The harder you struggle, the deeper you sink. If you are trapped in debt, here is a lifeline. Done with Debt.com. Done with Debt has created a brilliant new strategy with one goal in mind: get you out of debt quickly and permanently. They stand between you and your bill collectors. They negotiate a plan to end your debt permanently, without bankruptcy and without loans. But you need to contact Done with Debt right away, because some debt solutions expire and you don't want to miss out. Go to donewithdebt.com and get a free consultation. Talk with one of their experts and discover a strategy that will end your debt for good. That's donewithdebt.com. Again, donewithdebt.com. By now you have heard me talk about Delta Rescue. They are a fantastic organization that helps rescue animals from the wilderness. You know, I'm a dog lover, so is Leo Grillo, the founder of Delta Rescue. It is his life's mission to provide everlasting care for these once abandoned animals. I myself have donated to Delta Rescue. Do you believe it is part of man's duty to care for dogs and horses, the animals that so much of our history is tied to? If so, please consider making a donation or consult your advisor about leaving a gift in your will or trust. There can be some tax advantages, and it's a great way to help Delta Rescue accomplish their mission. So please visit deltarescue.org to learn more. That's deltarescue.org. All right, final thought of the day. So I had to buy sandals, and I don't want to spend $200 on stupid sandals, all right? So I go to the Nordstrom's rack, and there they are, size 13, black, and they're perfect. So I get the box, and I go to the line, and the line doesn't move. Why? Because the cashiers are asking for personal information about the people who are buying stuff at Nordstrom Rack. And the customers are giving it to them. Finally, I get up there, and a woman goes, I think it was $35, something like that. She goes, your phone number, please? I go, I'm not giving you my phone number. She goes, what? I said, why would I give you my phone number? I want to buy the sandals. Well, I need a phone number and address. I said, I'm not giving you my address. I'm not giving you any personal information at all. Here's my credit card. It's valid. Put it in and give me the sandals in a bag. That's all I want. And she, it's unbelievable. Now, usually I would have walked out and not bought it, but I needed the sandals. So I stood there and I just looked at her. I didn't say anything. I just looked at her. And after the diatribe, I said, I'm not giving you any information. Are you going to take it or do I have to get a manager? Takes the card, swipes the card, blah, 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 blah. Never give personal information to a clerk anywhere. That's insane. They will call you. They will hector you. That information will go other places. Do not do it. And Nordstrom's rack, stop. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.